Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
A federal witness claims a top Baltimore City police sergeant took drugs looted during the riots and sold them back onto the streets. It is one of many new revelations in the trial of two detectives. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren's live at the federal courthouse following every development for us. Mike?
Mary, Donald Stepp says he got greedy, that Sergeant Wayne Jenkins brought him more drugs to sell than he could ever dream of. The two were so close, jurors even saw photos of Stepp posing in Jenkins' police vest and using his gun inside City Police headquarters. Corruption in the Baltimore City Police Department. He was a longtime friend of Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, who led a rogue gun unit, and he remembers Jenkins making him a deal on their way to a casino. I'll bring you drugs, you sell them. It was a gamble Stepp was willing to take. I can't even sit here and fathom how much he's brought. Stepp testified he raked in more than $1 million. It was obvious to me after taking millions of dollars in drugs from Jenkins and selling them, this is not a normal police department. Deborah Katz-Levy with the Public Defender's Office listened to the stunning testimony.
I'm sort of at a loss for words, really. How many people knew and how many people turned a blind eye.
Stepp recounted Jenkins bringing him bags of drugs looted from pharmacies in the wake of Freddie Gray's death. He told me, I've got an entire pharmacy, he testified, while at the same time the police commissioner blamed the looted drugs on a steep rise in murders.
There's enough narcotics on the streets of Baltimore to keep it intoxicated for a year.
Stepp said Jenkins liked the gun trace task force he had. It gave him free reign of the entire city. But it wasn't just that unit. It was officers citywide for which Stepp said he bought masks, machetes, and other items used in robbing citizens. Saying of Sergeant Jenkins, it was easy for him to steal because he had unbelievable access in his position. Stepp also testified that a Baltimore County officer was with him during one of the robberies and that police provided security during a meeting with a big-time drug dealer at a local strip club. Now, lawyers for Herschel and Taylor have tried to distance their clients from Sergeant Jenkins, and they tried to attack Stepp's credibility in court today. Live at the federal courthouse, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Mike, thank you. Stepp remains free on electronic monitoring. He has a plea deal with the government and testified today under immunity.
How the gun trace task force fueled violence and overtime during Baltimore Uprising. I got an entire pharmacy, former bail bondsman Donald Stepp said from the witness stand in federal court Thursday. He was quoting former police sergeant Wayne Jenkins, the center of the ongoing corruption trial of two members of the gun trace task force, an elite police squad charged with criminal conspiracies. In a trial full of dramatic revelations of corruption, Stepp's claim was especially significant in this beleaguered city, which was about to embark on a third citizen-led ceasefire attempting to halt the brutal pace of near-daily murders for a weekend. In June 2015, after what was then Baltimore's deadliest month in decades, then Commissioner Anthony Batts blamed the spike in murders on drugs looted from pharmacies during the unrest following the death of Freddie Gray in police custody in April of that year. Headlines blared, Baltimore Police Commissioner, looted drugs during riots causing spike in violence. Others have claimed that the murders arose from the Ferguson effect, which argues that police stood down for fear of being the next viral video. But Stepp's claims complicate both of those narratives. According to Stepp, early in the morning on April 28, 2015, as Baltimore police struggled to regain some control after weeks of protest had turned to a day of rioting, Jenkins had his own agenda. During the riots of Freddie Gray, he called me again, woke me up, said I needed to open the garage door, Stepp said. When Jenkins pulled up, Stepp said, he got out of the car, opened the trunk and took out 2 large trash bags. I got people coming out of these pharmacies, Stepp, who estimated making $1 million off of selling drugs Jenkins stole, recalled his old friend saying. Deborah Katz-Levy, the head of the Baltimore City Public Defender Special Litigation Section, calls it callous. There's some argument that these guys robbed drug dealers, some people say that, right, and that these guys, committed crimes against other alleged criminals, but when you're taking prescription medication that the citizens of Baltimore, and in impoverished neighborhoods, really needed, that shows a level of callousness that rises all the way to the top, she said outside the courthouse Thursday. But in addition to taking medicine away from citizens, according to then Commissioner Bat's logic, Jenkins and Stepp contributed to turf wars, which, he said, were leading to violence and shootings in our city. Bat said 27 pharmacies were looted. And while most people think of the burning CVS at the heart of the unrest in Penn North, the DEA claimed that most of the pharmacies were targeted by organized gangs. You see the economic value for these gangs in targeting these pharmacies, Special Agent Gary Tuggle told WBAL back in 2015, comparing the price of OxyContin, which he said could go for $30 a pill, to heroin, which was selling for $10 to $15 a bag. Stepp testified that he and Jenkins regularly burgled buildings and that he bought a wide variety of equipment used in such burglaries, including grappling hooks, crowbars, sledgehammers, and tracking devices for Jenkins and other police officers, whom he did not name. He described Jenkins as a man in control of the city. It was easy for him to be able to steal because he had access, incredible access because of his position, Stepp said. While the exact role the gun trace task force and other rogue officers played in the looting of drugs and the rise of violence is unknown, it is clear that the task force, which was described by prosecutors as both cops and robbers at the same time, profited from it. Cooperating co-defendants testified that, as the murder rate rose in 2015, then Commissioner Kevin Davis asked Jenkins how he was keeping his squad motivated. According to Evodio Hendricks, Jenkins told the commissioner he was using overtime to keep his crew happy and getting guns off the streets. Davis allegedly told Jenkins to keep up the good work.
County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.